I think it's going to be $16.99 for the base model. No.
I guess that means check out episode 9 to see if Nathan was correct, because we'll probably
episode 3.
if we episode 2. We'll see you in September.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back to the Launch Day podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Nathan.
I'm Trey.
And this time we have video, maybe. We might decide not to do it.
We hope it works.
It should work. It'll be fine.
In fact, this episode, there should be many changes, as well as our microphones. Hopefully, we should have a lot better audio quality, and by that I mean me.
Cool. Well, welcome back. Today we're talking about the Artemis II mission. We're talking about folding iPhone rumors. We're talking about car designers abandoning screens, finally. Why PC upgrades are getting way more expensive, and some impressive but very unsettling self-browsing AI agents. So let's get to it. So first, iPhone Fold.
iPhone Fold. Tell me about it. Thoughts?
What's your initial impression when I say iPhone Fold?
So folding phones have been around.
Mm-hmm.
So why now? What big change has been made that they're like, what is this, like 5 years late?
Something like 7 or 8 years, yeah.
Like this is kind of putting a head on a hat. I don't know.
Well, so there's a few reasons why people think that Apple might have done it. I think Apple has a very high standard, except when they don't. But except for like Siri and the Vision Pro, but ignore that. Typically, especially with the iPhone, because the iPhone is Apple's product. It's like that's their bread and butter. Services technically make almost more money now, but like the iPhone and Apple Watch are actually, Apple Watch drives a lot of more iPhone sales than the other way around, which is really interesting. Yeah. But the iPhone is their bread and butter. That's what they're known for. Way less people have a Mac than have an iPhone, you know?
Yeah.
So any new category that they add to the iPhone, they have to do it right. And so the Fold, when they saw Samsung's first Fold in whatever year that was, 2019 or something like that.
Yeah. Pre-COVID.
I can't believe how long ago that was. But they saw the problems with it, which is it's not dust resistant. It's not water resistant. It has a giant crease down the middle. And they're like, we just can't do that. Here's the other thing. I just thought about this. Do you know that the iPhone, up until some very short period of time before it came out, the first iPhone, was going to have a plastic screen? Because every phone had a plastic screen.
Yeah. And
Steve Jobs was, messing with the prototype and things like that before the big keynote. And he said, this has to be glass. We have to make it glass. It was some crazy, it was like a couple weeks or something like that, some ridiculously short amount of time for them to make it glass. But they did. And so I think that's one really big, you obviously can't have a folding screen without plastic. Yeah. You got to have, like Samsung says that they have glass, that it's like folding glass, but there's a layer of plastic over it. So it doesn't matter. What they've probably discovered is that they finally probably fixed the problem of the crease. Is what people are speculating.
Which is so good. I always thought that was the ugliest looking.
Yeah. When you're looking at it straight on, it's okay, but it's not Apple. Apple couldn't bear to do that. Yeah. And like a lot of the newer ones, like the Galaxy Z Fold, have the crease is very hard to see when you first get the phone. And then after like 2 months, it starts to show up a little more. And then after 2 years, it's major.
Just wearing it out.
Yeah, I mean, it work hardens and it changes the shape of it. It's impossible to fix those things. So they've probably developed some kind of mechanism in the hinge that forces up what would be the crease in the plastic.
And another thing about those earlier folds with that plastic screen, I just realized how susceptible that would be to like oils and stuff. Mm-hmm. In my profession, I have my phone, and I have the iPhone 16, and that thing is still susceptible to damage constantly.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I couldn't bring something like that to work, even to put in my locker.
And the durability is also a major concern with folding phones, because you can dent them permanently with your fingernail.
Can you?
Yeah, it's just soft plastic.
That thing would explode.
Yeah, it would never survive. Like you can't.
If I had it for a day, it'd burst into flames. Yeah.
Do you want to see what shape it's going to be? I'm going to show you what the Galaxy Z Fold 7
Did you 3D print?
Like. Oh, I did.
Oh my god!
Look at that major camera bump. First of all,
that's
insane.
So this is an actual. Did you get this off of a website or
that exists? That's the Galaxy Z Fold 7. It's the newest folding phone from Samsung.
See if you can get the height of that camera lens.
It's the camera lens protrusion from the main body is about as thick as the phone itself when folded. Almost. It's pretty crazy. So
I had a ruler in here somewhere. We can get the exact, but
I should have brought my calipers.
Dense. Yeah.
It's pretty major. So but hold it like you would with the screen forward. That's the back. So like screen forward, like a phone. It feels like a phone.
Yeah. Feels like
and
a
the
phone.
thickness is not far off from a normal phone, which is crazy. I should have printed the previous one as well because it was dummy thick and heavy as well. But that is it feels like a phone. It's quite thin.
Yeah.
Your hands aren't too far apart or anything. Your thumb can kind of reach it okay. Yeah, compare it with your phone.
Yes, slightly thinner than my phone.
Mm-hmm. Of course, you have a case on that makes it wider, but and it's definitely taller. It's very tall. And then unfold it.
That's about the same height. Maybe minus the case.
With the case, yeah.
So unfolding.
And then you end up with about a square. Just about.
Yeah.
The problem with a square unfolded is that why would you want to unfold your phone to have a square? Do you think?
Just the idea of like having a tablet wherever you could go that can fit in your pocket or, just
more stuff.
Yeah.
But this style, a square, what can it fit? It can fit like 2 normal phone apps next to each other.
Yeah.
It can fit a bigger keyboard, I guess, if you turn it the other way.
Were they trying to market like people watching movies or something on it, or?
Yeah, and can you already see what the problem would be with that? Movies have a certain aspect ratio.
Yeah, they do. So it still would only take up like half the screen.
Exactly. So you don't
just take it up that
you
way
just have black
that
bars.
way, which in that case, you just hold it that way.
There you go. Yeah. See, so it's not just the big tech nerds that understand that this is a problem. A normal user is like, I'm not getting a bigger screen out of this.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. And I think Apple wants to solve that problem. Google tried to solve it as well. They made a wider, basically a passport-shaped phone kind of thing. And that is what the iPhone Fold is rumored to look like. This is the rumored, probably confirmed what it's going to look like. And that's also a better print. This one
okay, that's dorky.
Yeah.
That's a little chunky.
Isn't it kind of weird? It's also a little thicker too.
I'm assuming this is the kind of battery thing where this whole bottom part takes up the battery and then all the components can be up here, or
it's mimicking the iPhone 17.
That's what
Pro
I was thinking. Yeah.
Look. It just has that's just glass and the rest will be metal.
Yes.
Is the idea.
But that was their idea, was the fact that they'd have this entire thing takes up the battery and then all the components can actually fit in the top.
Yeah. And so where do you think what was their trial run for the Fold?
Of course, the 17.
Air. The Air. Because the Air.
One, yeah,
the crazy thin one. Because you want it to be. But look at the shape. It's a very interesting shape.
First off, I have to commend you on an excellent print. I just realized that's like hinged.
Yeah, isn't
like
that nice? It's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know why this print just sucked.
That was doo-doo balls.
Garbage, and I don't know.
This one even has the logo on it. You need to put like a picture of this on the screen for our viewers that are viewing now. I like this a lot better.
But closed, it's worse.
Yes, it is super dorky.
So you're not supposed to use it closed. Is this the thing?
It looks like a friggin' Palm Pilot.
It's just a tablet that fits in your pocket. Is all it is. Yeah, it does not. It would not be fun to use closed. I will say, typing on it though, texting from the front screen will be. Well, it's wider, so there's more keyboard, I guess. But holding it sucks. So
here's my question: How's the glass gonna work with a folding phone?
It's good. It's got to be plastic, but it's got to be as good as they can get it. That's the weird thing about this. And also, the question about this is, Apple's been trying and failing to make a middle category phone for the last 4 years.
Describe middle category for me.
iPhone 12 mini, iPhone 13 mini, iPhone 14 Plus, iPhone 15 Plus, iPhone 16 Plus, iPhone 17 Air, or just Air, whatever. But all of those did not meet the sales expectations. They all disappointed. So Apple's been trying all these different formats, struggling to do it. Next is this thing. They'll probably do the Air again, just to see if it does better the next time, but I doubt it. But the question is, what problem is this solving for anybody? I guess just someone who wants an iPad mini but doesn't want to carry it around, plus a phone, I guess, maybe?
I smell a rat. I feel like this is going to die the same way that the Apple Vision Pro did.
It probably will.
I want to be optimistic because the fact that they're trying to
You know who will probably buy this?
Who?
Pilots.
You're absolutely right.
They've all got iPad minis, and it sucks to have to put it somewhere. So if this thing has Apple Pencil support, pilots will love it.
That's so true. We should probably ask Joe tomorrow. Our friend Joe is a pilot, and we can ask him tomorrow.
Yeah,
what he thinks.
Yeah,
that is very interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, that was our warm up topic, but I guess we went for a while. But it was a good topic.
Detailed warm up topic.
Yeah. So anyway, I brought props because I wanted to see what it looked like. I was like, this would be.
I was wondering what they were. That's what you were talking about earlier. I was wondering.
Props. Yeah. So anyway, it's a strange product with kind of an unclear expectation, kind of like Vision Pro, which it was like they made it and then they're just going to see if people like it or what they use it for, which is not what Apple is historically known for. And I think that the customers are going to let them know that. Samsung just announced their trifold phone's price. They just released a trifold. It's going to be $2,900.
Jeez.
$1,000 per fold. Per screen.
$1,000 per fold.
Technically, it only folds twice, but per third of the screen, it's $1,000. And some people are like, Apple's going to charge a ton for this.
So how much do the two lines cost?
I don't know. $10. Yeah. Some people are saying this is going to be a $2,500 phone. I don't think so. I think I'll give you my prediction. All right.
Listen here, folks.
I think it's going to be $1,699 for the base model. And the base model will have 256 gigabytes of storage. You'll be able to configure it up to 2 terabytes. And the 2 terabyte one will be $2,199, I think. That's my guess. So we'll see.
Thinking that we may release monthly, we're not going to commit to that.
No.
I guess that means check out episode 9 to see if Nathan was correct, because we'll probably
episode 3
if we episode 2 we'll see you in September to see if Nathan has predicted correctly. We may be making history here.
I know.
Guys, get on Rainbit right now.
Yeah. All right, so segment 1, Artemis II. Thoughts.
Back to the moon, baby.
Back to the moon. Yeah. We are so back.
We're going to prove to all you tinfoil hat wearers that we can go to the moon.
And we totally did.
We definitely did.
We were there. There's a lot of conspiracies to believe, but...
My sister doesn't think we did.
I know.
So now I don't have a sister anymore. She's disowned.
So we're going back, man. It's not a landing. That's going to be like Artemis 3 or something like that. But
implying that it's a series, we're gonna get back in the game, you know?
And it'll be really interesting to see if by the time like the crewed mission would come along, if Starship will have already started to do that. Their production started. They've gotten a lot of setbacks with Starship production. Starship is a better vehicle for it because they could bring like 30 people and a ton of cargo to the moon, whereas Artemis is like 2 people and a popsicle. I don't know, but like it's not. They can't fit very much. It's very small.
Now hold on,
it's way bigger than the Apollo capsules, obviously, but it's still. Like, it's hard to describe how much more giant the payload capacity is for Starship.
Now, listen, what kind of popsicle are we talking about? I would have thought, like, the Rocket Pop.
Rocket Pop?
But no, I was using it as an analogy.
It's a SpongeBob.
Do you think that this has to do with the fact that China has created, like, a flag that they plan on putting on the moon that, unlike ours, will not wear away? Like, they, like, woven in, like, carbon to permanently.
I mean, I'm sure we'll bring one too.
That's what I'm saying. You think it's to replace our flag? Like they threatened to like put their flag up there? And
I doubt they would try to land in the same place, but they might. I don't know. Yeah,
it's a historic
is the American flag white now? I guess probably.
From what I've heard, it is like whitewashed.
It would make sense. We didn't really have the tech to resist that radiation.
I hope that's the plan. I hope it's the plan to go back to the original and mount a like more permanent American flag.
Oh, if we build a moon base and it's like good and stuff, if we build a moon like a permanent moon base, the first place will probably not be where the first Apollo missions were, unfortunately, because we'll probably try and do it close to South Pole, maybe where there's more water to harvest to make fuel. I don't know. We'll see.
I didn't know there was water on the moon.
It's frozen, but yeah, it's like inside the surface.
If we nuke the poles,
nuke the poles. That's Elon's idea for Mars, by the way.
Yeah,
nuke the poles.
I think he talked about that on Rogan, right? Nuke the poles and then create
artificial suns with nukes. He's like, obviously, it's not what humans can do right now, but
we should
later.
Nuke Jupiter.
to get more
to
stupid.
turn it in. Yes, we should nuke Jupiter to turn it into a sun, so it'll thaw out Europa. Yeah.
Think about it. Consider
2010, baby.
It would fry Europa if it became a star.
It would. Yeah.
Europa's so close to Jupiter.
It'd probably fry us at some point.
It also would, if it collapsed enough to become a star. I can't imagine that it wouldn't just suck up Europa.
I can't believe that you took my stupid comment seriously.
Shut up. Anyway, I don't know.
Where were we?
We're going back. It's costing $100 billion to do it.
Did they have an official statement as to why they're going back?
Well, establishing a moon base will. Well, I'm sure there's a military reason as
Somebody
well.
left their wallet up there. That's what it was.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a military reason, but
crap.
Oh, poop. Like the vector.
Vector.
I'm sure there's a military reason. That's probably where they get the money. That's probably you get the money by convincing them that hey, military is gonna love it. But also, is
this an official action from Space Force?
I mean, Space Force is heavily integrated with NASA, and they work together and stuff. So it's all whatever. Establish American presence there, whatever.
But that is the point.
I'm all for a good space race. I love it. It's way more useful than war and so much more fun. So
much more fun.
Yeah,
it's so much more fun than the Cold War was.
Yeah, let's do more space race stuff. That's great. Let's spend resources getting better at science. Sure, it's better than spending money on bombs. I don't know.
Yeah,
but the problem is that SLS is a terribly inefficient money-wise vehicle. It costs $100 billion for this one mission, whereas
really,
yeah. So, but Starship, if and when that gets up and running, is going to be a few million or something insanely low in comparison. So, we'll see what happens. But this should be a pretty good mission. Hopefully everything is fine with that capsule because it's not. I don't know. I don't know if it's gone through the same rigorous testing that Apollo did. Apollo went through very rigorous testing, but this is also just a flyby. So I think we kind of know how to do that, right?
Done plenty of flybys.
Yeah. So, but I mean, Apollo 13, a lot of stuff went wrong before they could hit the surface. So who knows? But anyway, speaking of things that move. Big changes in the car industry.
Okay.
big chungus in the car industry.
Tell me about the car industry, Nathan.
Oh, you're gonna love this. First one. Yeah, Audi returns to physical button dashes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's sick.
So Audi's chief creative officer is pushing back against giant iPad dashboards, in quotes.
Thank God.
Calling them technology for the sake of technology.
That is a excellent.
And research obviously suggests that touchscreens are terribly distracting. And you know why? Is because to control the things that you're trying to control, you have to look at a screen. There's no physical feedback of what you're touching on a screen. So you got to look at it.
Yeah.
It's a problem. So, and so they're like, get rid of that. And also it removes the personality of a vehicle as well.
Of course, yeah.
I'm all for CarPlay. Put CarPlay in a car, but don't replace the AC controls with a screen.
2013 to 2016 or whatever the iPad thing started. I get the small screen for navigation or whatever.
Right.
Keep it at that. Keep it at radio and navigation. Yeah. Still have your knob.
Yeah. Great. Yeah.
My sister has a 24 Hyundai something terrible, and the whole thing from the dash over here all the way to her steering wheel is just iPad. And exactly what I thought would happen happened. It is covered in smudges. And
it's a glossy material as well, so it collects fingerprints.
What it is, it's the exact same material that the freaking iPhone, not the iPhone, but the folding phones are made of.
Right.
It's that plastic. It's not even glass, or at least in the Hyundai it is.
It's usually glass with a plastic layer, so it doesn't create.
It's nasty.
Glass to his throat. It's so when you're in an accident, it doesn't
become a claymore.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why. So.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, nobody wants an iPad car.
Yeah, it's cool when you're making the TikTok of you and your shiny fancy new car, but 6 months later when you're eating freaking McDonald's
and also it might be okay when cars are self-driving, if that's normal or whatever, that might be fine. But But right now, when we drive manually, let's not have a giant iPad for everything.
Yeah.
That's one thing I liked about like driving a Tesla versus driving a Lucid. Both very powerful electric vehicles. A Tesla is just all screen. Obviously, you have in some Teslas you have to use the screen to change your wiper speed. Ridiculous, awful. And the horn is a capacitive button on the steering wheel. Awful. So is your blinker. But in a Lucid, they have a big old screen. Of course, they've got a big screen, and you do control the AC with the screen, but also there's physical switches for everything. And so, like, your passenger can do screen stuff if they want, but also you've got these little switches, you've got knobs for everything. Everything's like physical as well, and so you can remember where it is and do it. Here's the other really big news story with cars is
Cars released in 2006.
Yes, that's
20-year anniversary, by the way.
So what's going on with Tesla? Do you know?
Nathan, I'm going to have to ask you to read that headline.
No. Are you aware of all the models that Tesla produces at the moment? Like, can you name them?
No, go.
Any of them?
I mean, like Model X, Y, Cybertruck.
So there's 4 main cars. Ignore Cybertruck and Semi. Just the 4 models. They spell out a word.
S3X1Y. Sexy.
Yeah. S3XY. Yeah. That's going away.
What?
I know. So the Model 3 and Model Y are their most popular vehicles. They're some of the most popular vehicles in the United States, like just under the F-150, which is insane. For an electric car of all things, which is not for everybody, anybody who needs to travel any particular distance. But so the Model S was their first, the first Tesla technically was the Roadster. Yeah. And it was, that's what I was thinking it was technically a Lotus that they figured they would just make it electric, but they ended up replacing like every single part. Okay. So the S is like the fancier one. It's the one where the handles are flat and they pop out like motorized. Oh, yeah. Rather than the thumb thing for the handle. And the X is the same thing, but as an SUV where the doors are the gull wing doors. The DeLorean doors. DeLorean doors, yeah. So those are the 2 most premium. They're also the least sold, but I want to see if you know by how much. I've got some numbers for you. In 2025, Tesla sold 1.5 million units of just the Model 3 and Y. So those are the most popular. Yeah. Model Y is the most popular, more than the 3, which is interesting. 1.5 million. 1.5. Guess how many units they sold of their premium car, all of their premium cars combined, including the X, the S, the Cybertruck, and the Semi.
Is it less than 1 million?
Yes.
Wow. 500K? Lower? What, like 1,000?
50,000.
50,000.
Compared to 1.5 million. And also 20,000 of those are Cybertrucks. Ish. Out of 50,000.
Which the Cybertruck.
And then they sold like maybe 200 Tesla semis, which are, of course, nobody wants those because there's no power infrastructure to charge them. But so that means they sold less than 2% the amount of X and S's than the 3 and Y. So it makes sense to stop producing the X and the S.
I was going to say, to be fair, it's not like there are like only a few out there.
Yeah.
There's a bunch.
Yeah.
But like the fact that it did so bad, that is awful.
Well, their market is no longer premium cars. It's people who are like, listen, I just need to commute and I don't want to pay for gas, or I live on a college campus and I get free charging. Why wouldn't I get this car that until recently would get me a $7,000 tax rebate? They don't have that anymore. Right. That was a massive reason people would get electric cars, and that's gone. Previously, Tesla's website would the price that showed up on their website was including the tax rebate. That's gone. So now all the cars look way more expensive, and it's like, maybe I don't want that. So really interesting. And then also a lot of car brands, including Ford. Ford is getting rid of the F-150 Lightning, their electric F-150. That's right. I heard about that. But they're going hybrid. I think everyone's realizing that hybrid is
the way to go.
Actually awesome. Yeah. It's the best of both worlds. You get great acceleration.
Can we talk about like the downfall of the Cybertruck real quick?
Yeah.
Dude, I really think this had to do a lot with it. which is like, this is kind of reminiscent of Top Gear, kind of like tearing down Tesla in the early days with the Roadster.
Yeah.
Like the OG Top Gear.
Yeah.
And then I think our version of that, now our generation's version of that, was the Whistling Diesel video.
Mm-hmm.
It's just him destroying the
Cybertruck
right next to the F-150.
I went back and watched that video.
34 million views.
The only thing that it did worse at was when the tailgate broke. That was like the big issue.
Yeah.
The weird thing is that these electric vehicles are technically better at a lot of things, but the problem with electric vehicles, especially for a truck.
Yeah.
The reason why the Cybertruck, they made it ugly or whatever, is because it had to stand out somehow. Because for truck stuff, it's not great.
Yeah.
It's amazing for hauling stuff not super far, but if you're trying to tow anything for any distance, you can't go far. Its towing capacity and strength and torque is insane, obviously, but you're not taking it any more than like 20 miles or something like that.
Well, that's the thing. I just was under the impression that nobody that actually needs a truck was gonna buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it had Apple Vision Pro, all over it. Just like a cool thing if you're really into that. Or at least use it in a capacity. Like, I have a very small truck that I use to commute to work. It has a tow hitch. I don't plan on towing anything with it.
Mm-hmm. Let's just say you were in the market for a $50,000 truck. And the Cybertruck was an option in that price category. It's not. It was $100,000 when it came out. Of course, yeah. They promised a cheaper version that never came out. But let's just pretend that it was. You were going to get either a $50,000 gas truck or a $50,000 Cybertruck. What are you getting?
Again, it depends.
Because you wouldn't pay for gas.
Yes.
You don't like traveling.
Yes. But if I'm a truck guy and I need to use it for truck purposes, I wouldn't get it. Mm. If I were to use it almost exclusively to commute, or to move my grandma's...
Like you're doing right now.
Like I'm doing right now. Or to move my grandma's furniture, like I'm doing right now. It's perfect for if you're an old rich dude who's got the freaking dually, F-350 and has the Cybertruck.
Or the other purpose that I think most, maybe not most of, but a lot of that 20,000-ish number of Cybertrucks they've sold, I think a large number of them are companies who bought one because it's basically a giant billboard.
Oh yeah.
It sticks out. It's flat. It's easy to to put vinyl on.
I've seen them all over. Even here in Birmingham, I've seen them.
My fiance's dad's tech company bought a Cybertruck, and he drives that to customers' houses.
Does he actually himself drive it?
Yeah, every now and then.
That's pretty cool.
Or I think he drives it more than most people because he's like one of their better salesmen or whatever. But he goes to client places with that, and it has like their logo on the side and everything. It's yeah.
But towing and stuff, that's what I mean. The tow hitch literally breaking off in the video. We talked about this before the podcast.
And the fact that, and there's a couple of reports of people's tow hitches falling off because their trailer hit a pothole.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Not
hitting the giant concrete thing.
We were talking about this. Like, it's made of cast aluminum. Mm-hmm. Which is great if you're building a freaking rocket ship. Which didn't you say the rocket ship's going to be made of steel?
SpaceX Starship is made out of stainless steel or their own confidential blend of steel.
Their own alloy,
yeah. But the Cybertruck is made of cast aluminum.
I've welded with cast aluminum before. Mm-hmm. It is so touchy. Like, literally,
nothing sticks to it.
When I was working at the local community college, we have this kind of unspoken deal where anyone can just show up and we'll fix whatever they have with them.
Yeah.
Like
for experience or whatever.
And an old lady,
you guys did a lot of free labor.
Dude, I built like 6 trailers from scratch.
That's insane.
But an old lady came in with this lamp, this garbage lamp that she could have gotten for like 50 cents at a thrift store. Yeah. And it was like a pineapple shape, and one of the leaves of the pineapple fell off.
And she wanted you to fix it?
She wanted us to fix it. And it was cast aluminum.
How do you guys know this lady? How did she?
People just show up. And my teacher was like right next to me because I'd never done cast aluminum or even aluminum TIG at all.
Yeah.
And I've got the things where I got it fine-tuned. And he's like, all right, be very gentle. And I just barely tap my amperage. And the whole like chunk of it just goes whoosh. it melts because it's got so much air in it because it's casted. It's got so much,
and that means it heats up quicker too,
so fast.
And also, aluminum just has a lower melting point too. But
it does. So it just this whole like chunk of her pineapple just
falls off. Did you ever get it fixed or
no?
No. Ugh, that's so sad.
He even my teacher even attempted. I don't think it was successful. I think he threw it away, and then when she came back, she was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Fun little story there. Where are we?
Well, so that's just the interesting headline on Tesla and on Audi. I'm excited about the Audis.
Audi's going to be pretty cool.
I'm excited about Audi, not because I'm ever going to buy an Audi.
Oh, no.
I'm not. But if other companies follow, that would be amazing. So
yeah, I will say this about the Audi and about the physical little bips and bobs.
Mm-hmm.
If you do that, you have to make it look really sharp. To go back from... You can't just go back to like plastic knobs.
No, it needs to look decent. It needs to be metal.
Some, I want to see some like...
It needs to click.
Like knobs. It's got to click. Oh yeah. It's got to have that... It's got to maybe some like wood ingrained in it or like some like ridges. It's got to look sharp.
Yeah.
So be wary. I know Audi, you listen to this podcast and you're taking our advice. Be wary that you have to you have to make it really classy. Like we are.
Today's episode is sponsored by Audi and their new R8 or something.
Das Auto. What is that? No, that's
Volkswagen. Das Auto. All right, we'll see you right after this break. And welcome back. So, segment 3, we're talking about storage and RAM crisis, an update, kind of.
AI needs to get off my lawn.
It's fair.
Get out of my SSD. I don't think I've ever used AI in my life, by the way. Got to be totally honest.
Never.
I've had no reason to touch AI, so I really don't care.
Here's one thing. AI has become a marketing term.
Yes.
And so, one thing that kind of annoys me, I love Blackmagic. Blackmagic, you are fantastic. DaVinci Resolve is one of your best things you ever created. And the lack of a subscription model, keep that up. But they did, in their latest update, they added a lot of great features, but they also relabeled multiple features as AI. So, like the voice...
It's the boy who cried AI.
Yeah, voice isolation has existed forever, for ages, you know. It's been good for like 5 years-ish. It's been... and so they had voice isolation built into DaVinci Resolve. It was called voice isolation. And then there was one where that would auto caption. Both of those features got relabeled to AI. AI
machine learning or whatever, and then they just called it AI or what?
Yeah, well, you have to use machine learning to make any of that stuff happen, but also you need machine learning to make large language models, which are what we think of as AI.
Fun fact: we scrapped a whole podcast where I went on like a 30-minute rant about. It was like 30. It was way too long about the Beatles song that they used AI to or they used what I thought was AI to isolate vocals on a track, whatever. And I got like 30 minutes into the speech, and then finally Nathan's just like, "Yeah, that wasn't AI." I was like, "What do we do for the past half hour?"
Yeah, we scrapped a whole.
I was like, "Oh, this doesn't work at all," and we just wasted all of our time.
That's fine. So anyway, yeah, AI is not always AI, and it's a marketing term, but whatever. But the companies that are running these large language models, image generation models, video generation models are investing heavily in data centers to meet a demand that doesn't exist yet. The demand for AI is stabilized, but because of the rate at which it climbed, all the tech billionaires think that it's going to keep doing that.
Yeah,
they have not considered the possibility that it might level off a little. The usage of AI, that is. So, and then, of course, you got Elon Musk running around saying that everybody doesn't need to worry about getting a job because he called it universal high income is coming. Okay, buddy. Do you not know how capitalism works? It can't.
That's sorry. Like socialism without socialism.
Yeah, the whole point. That's what? No, universal high income is not coming as long as AI is owned by companies. Like, it's what you think that when a company suddenly has the ability to make work happen for near free, that means that they're going to pass on those savings to people? Absolutely not. When has that ever happened? When a company figures out how to make a process of creating something cheaper, that product doesn't get cheaper. The company just gets a little richer. That's all that happens. Anyway, so they've invested heavily in data centers to meet a demand that doesn't exist yet. And to fill those data centers, they've bought a bunch of graphics cards that are sitting in warehouses, and they're buying RAM that hasn't been made yet. It's so bad that they are already buying out all the stock of RAM from some companies that is not slated to be manufactured until 2028.
Not even
It's not even going to be made until 2028.
Oh,
they're already buying all of that. And so all of these companies have discovered, oh, wait a second. Why are we still selling RAM to consumers when these AI companies are offering to pay like 20% more or something? I don't know what it is, but they're offering to pay more for the RAM just to have all of it. And so the big hitter was when Crucial. We know Crucial. They make great SSDs, some of the best budget SSDs that are still plenty fast. They announced that they were no longer going to be selling RAM or SSDs for personal use, exclusively selling to data centers. So that's one giant player out of the market. Micron owns Crucial, so it was Micron that announced that. SK Hynix followed and did the same thing. And then Samsung did the same thing to the point where Samsung is getting paid more by AI data centers to sell the RAM, all of their RAM to them, so that now Samsung cannot sell RAM to Samsung.
They can't. Oh wait, that's what I was confused. I thought you were asking me a question.
Yeah.
So they won't even sell it to themselves.
Yeah. So Samsung has caused a shortage for themselves, which is
it's like the Tom and Jerry where Tom like sticks the rifle into the hole and it comes back out.
That's great. So yeah.
They're like, why aren't our computers selling? Well, you don't have RAM. Well, where do we get the RAM?
Yeah, so that's where the shortage is coming from. It's not just affecting RAM.
So
it's affecting storage.
Gotten out of the personal market.
Fortunately, Trey and I both bought sets of new CPUs, new motherboards, and 32 gigs of DDR5 6000 RAM. And I called you in November.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it must have been November. You were going to Micro Center.
I was already at Micro Center when I called you.
Yes,
I think
I was at work.
I had just decided on a whim to drive to Micro Center. 2 hours.
And I'm notoriously against buying things that I don't think I need immediately. And I pick up the phone. He's like, "You're buying this?" I said, "No." He's like, "Yes." And I said, "All right, fine." And then
I've been trying to convince you for a while.
For a long time.
Yeah. But I was like, hey, I'm at Micro Center. They have this bundle that it was already a good deal on the bundle. Yeah. It was $325 for, oh man, what's your CPU? It's a 7600X. Yeah, a Ryzen 7600X, an Asus B570. I don't remember the motherboard. It's an Asus motherboard and some Team Group RAM, 32 gigs, DDR5, 6000 megahertz.
Yeah.
All for $325. I got a similar thing. I spent a little more and got a better CPU or something like that, but it's basically the same setup. Trey didn't build the rest of his PC for a while. I went ahead and built and upgraded my Linux server and did that. And then like 1 month later, we started hearing about shortage stuff. Well, we already knew. I had seen a few YouTubers and people saying, hey, big shortage is coming. It's coming. RAM and stuff's about to go up in price, which is why I convinced you to go ahead and buy the stuff. And then middle of December, we start seeing prices jack up, like majorly. And then
right around the time we did the pilot episode.
And then halfway through January, all of a sudden, just the RAM that is in your system now, that if you divide it all up, costs like $100 or something like that, or less than $100, probably $70.
Yeah.
Is now worth $525. So we both upgraded at just in the nick of time. But here's the thing: is it's not just going to affect RAM; it's going to affect storage and SSDs.
Oh yeah.
But because it's affecting the SSDs, guess what? People are going to have to start going to for storage.
Hard drives.
HDDs.
HDDs.
And so when those start to get sucked up, what happens? Prices get jacked up. So even HDD storage is going to start costing more. SD cards are already like 20% more expensive, which is not good for my industry in the video work and photography. So, and they're saying that supply probably will not meet demand until somewhere around 2029.
Nice. That's just fantastic.
Just great.
That's awesome.
I was really hoping to build Elizabeth and I PCs after we got married, and we're probably going to have to wait. So, yeah.
Now, this brings an interesting question. Does this open a door to possibly upgrade, like, you know, open the door of innovation in the HDD world?
I mean, yeah, HDDs have existed for so long. We've pretty much got those down, you know, to where, like, if you needed to boot off of an HDD, you could partition it so that you were booting off of the outside rim of it because it spins faster than the inside. So you would get just a little more speed. That, like, back in the day before SSDs, that's what people did. There are all kinds of ways to optimize. I mean, and HDDs have not stopped being sold or used. They're just not used in like laptops anymore and stuff. But like in desktop PCs, they're still around. So, and I'm very glad that we didn't ramp down production on those. Yeah. So I'm probably about to get another 8 terabyte HDD to put in my server, just because I need to back up all my footage onto the thing. Because I'm like, I can't afford. I thought I was going to be able to buy another M.2 SSD to carry around and use for footage. And I can't do that anymore. It's $200 for what used to be a $70 hard drive. So,
and even if, I mean, following that rule that, you know, necessity is the mother of invention, even if something does come around the pipeline that might fix that problem, it won't come before 2029.
Likely not, or maybe 2027 or something. But either way, we've got multiple years to go before this is solved. But
behold, this is the beginning of the dark times, the dark ages.
Yeah,
and we have to wait for the return of the king.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell them what we managed to do for your PC.
Well, I really don't know much about it because it all just kind of happened. Well, I mean, it all just happened to me behind the scenes. So really, I'm just blessed to have great friends that I do have. I had an excellent birthday just a couple weeks ago where me and the boys went on the mountain, hung out, had a great time. And then on top of that, like I said, previously already bought the bundle with the CPU, motherboard, and the RAM.
2 months before, yeah.
But that is the only components that I did have. So he asked me what I wanted for my birthday. I said, maybe you guys can like get together and buy me a couple of PC parts.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like all pulling together maybe a graphics card or, you know, or fans or just something. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just, I didn't know. I didn't no expectations. If it were 1 or 2 or even 1, totally cool with me. And then I get back home. They basically found a way with, what was the budget at the end?
$300.
$300 built this.
For audio listeners, it is a beautiful mid-tower case. It's from Lee & Lee. It's got a dual tower cooler. It came with 4 RGB fans. Yeah, 4 RGB fans. It's a beautiful rig. It's very nice. Now, the GPU was...
it was donated from a friend, or I'm borrowing it, essentially.
Yeah. Borrowing it, but long-term, like for a few years or whatever, until it gets better, basically. 1080 Ti. 1080 Ti.
Is it a Ti?
This is one of the most legendary graphics cards of all time. It came out the same year as your previous card, but it has 8 gigs of VRAM, which still holds up today. This card came out, the 1080 Ti came out in March of 2017.
2017? So it's almost a decade old.
It's like 8 years old-ish. And it still outperforms my graphics card, which I bought this year.
You're kidding me.
Yeah. Mine is an RX 7600. So both 8 gig cards, this outperforms it. Incredible. Anyone who bought one of these brand new back in the day has gotten so much more than their money's worth out of it. NVIDIA will never make a card like that again. No. Ever. So incredible graphics card.
They noticed that it was doing so well so long. They're like, that's a shame.
They're like, we got to start making stuff that breaks. Next top of the line card needs to catch on fire. Yeah. So, but yeah, we narrowly escaped, both of us. And the guy that I sold my old PC to also narrowly escaped because DDR4 prices are through the roof as well. Oh, yeah. I sold that PC to him for $700.
I mean, we are the
$750.
We are the last dorks on the helicopter out of Vietnam.
Anyway, speaking of computers, but maybe one you can't afford, the Chromebook.
Tell me about the old Chromebook.
This is really interesting because right now it's becoming a lot more people are drawing attention to the fact that Windows is bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Windows
it
bad.
already wasn't great, but now it's real bad. It's terribly inefficient. It uses like almost 5 gigs of RAM just to keep the thing running.
Yeah.
A lot of people are switching to Linux. People keep saying this year is going to be the year of the Linux desktop or whatever. I don't think so because like Rockstar Games refuses to support Linux and stuff like that.
That's right, yeah.
Or you can install it and it works, but they specifically made the anti-cheat not work with Linux.
Okay.
So it just bans you from
And we all know that GTA 6 will be releasing within the next 100 years. So we need to be prepared.
Almost guaranteed. Not quite.
Not quite guaranteed.
But almost. Yeah. So anyway.
I love the meme, by the way, of I think it's Monsters vs. Aliens, where it's like the alien in the baby chair, and he's just like, Uncle Mike.
Uncle Mike. So in this really interesting landscape where you have people, a lot more people than Linux, a lot more people are moving from Windows to Mac right now. Really interesting for people who aren't gaming. If you're a gamer, no gamer is moving over to Mac OS to game. But professionals or video editing or whatever, tons of them are moving over to Mac OS. First of all, because of Apple Silicon, because it's actually incredible. Battery life is better than anything across the board. All that. But also because it just most of the time just works, and also it's not filled with ads. But by default, you know how you'll have that little weather widget in there,
yeah.
And if you hover over it by accident, it takes over half the page, but it takes over half of your screen. The widgets page, that's what it is. The Windows widgets page takes over a quarter of your screen or something, and it has the weather up there. But then all the rest of it is news and ads and just AI and garbage. So it's like, I don't want this. And also when you install Windows, it comes with tons of preloaded apps and it's ridiculous. So in this crazy landscape of all the OS is fighting and stuff and Windows is losing clearly, well, they still have like 90% market share, but like they're no longer increasing really. They're losing lots of people. The reason why their reported numbers keep going up is because they don't like delete them when someone switches over. That account still exists. So anyway, in that environment, Chromebooks.
Oh yeah. Garbage.
So here's the thing about Chromebooks is they've never been garbage. For the most part, there's no such thing as a bad product, just a bad price, right? Chromebooks are cheap, except for the expensive ones, which is very few and no one buys them. But by and large, Chromebooks are very cheap, like $160. Can't get anything else laptop-ish for $160. Doesn't exist. And if you need to use Google Docs and YouTube, if you just need, I mean, so many people buy one of these, buy a 14-inch MacBook Pro to use a web browser.
Yeah.
Well, their dad buys it for them.
Yeah, the geezers and the teenagers. Yeah,
like plenty of high schoolers, their daddy's buying them a 14-inch MacBook Pro with M5.
And they're paying for the logo at that point.
Yeah, and they're using a web browser in it. That's it. And so, but a Chromebook exists, and it's really good that it exists for students and for old people because you can't get a virus on it. Basically, it's almost impossible.
Still found a way though.
Yeah. So we've got Chrome OS as it exists right now. It's not a great OS by any means, but it's safe. And it's simple. It's extremely lightweight. And not too long ago, they made it not open source, but they made it so that you can make an installer for it to put it on any machine, which is pretty cool, on like an old ThinkPad or something. If you just need a web browse. But this is the kicker. Recently, they've decided to merge Android and Chrome OS.
I did hear about this.
Basically getting rid of Chrome OS and making a version of Android that works. So on Chromebooks, you can run some Android apps, but it's doing an emulator.
Yeah.
Would be great if Chromebooks weren't made out of like a rock that someone put a balloon on to give it a little electricity. They're running a terrible processor, so it doesn't do emulation well, of course. But if it just runs native Android, it'll basically work like an Android phone.
Which it pretty much already did.
Yeah, but what'll happen is, like, do you know about Samsung DeX?
No.
If you have a Samsung phone and a Galaxy S series phone, which is the most popular ones, I think almost any of them, going back to like the 7 or something, probably the 8. If you plug it into a monitor, keyboard, and mouse, on that monitor, it'll give you a whole desktop experience.
Really?
Which is it's basically a Chromebook, but it's got all your files from your phone and everything. That exists, but probably that's going to get a lot more comprehensive when Chrome OS becomes basically that, becomes Dex. And that's going to be really exciting because it'll be actually capable. You'll be able to download stuff and install things. It'll be super lightweight. If that is also available to become to be installed on x86 systems and stuff, that's going to be amazing it's just going to disrupt the market. Because also, think about this, a lot of people have Google phones. Android's owned by Google, obviously. You have an Android phone. They might get a lot more market than like the Chromebook does, because a lot of these people have Android phones. They could really put in some powerful integration features like Mac OS to deliver an actually quite good product. And if they make it cheaper and they undercut Microsoft a lot instead of selling $100 license or whatever, could be incredible. So we'll see what happens. I always love to see disruption in a market because competition makes everything better for the customer. I would love to see Windows really see some pressure. Funny thing is, Windows, I think today or yesterday or something like that, released an announcement. They were like, all right, guys, we hear you. That's it. They released it. It was like a long statement from the CEO or
they spent 20 minutes telling you nothing.
Yeah, but basically they were like, we see that a lot of you are leaving Windows because we made some subpar decisions. We hear you.
And we're not going to change a thing.
Exactly. They said like some super vague, okay, we're gonna take feedback or something. They didn't say they're gonna change anything or whatever. If they had said we're gonna remove bloatware and make Copilot opt in instead of opt out, like so where you have to opt in to use it, or what if they like did something like that, people would be like, hey, that's responsive. But they're just like, we hear you, son. We hear you. So I don't know. That's a good sign though. It means they're feeling the pressure.
Yeah.
And whenever this Aluminum OS is what it's called, by the way.
Aluminum OS.
Aluminium OS.
Aluminium OS.
Aluminium. Yeah. So it'll introduce more competition to the market, and I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm most interested to see what they'll do ecosystem wise. I want to see if they'll. I guess it'll be Google Meet or whatever, but like maybe I think they really should, instead of like Google Meet, or they should change the format of Google Meet and make it work a lot more like FaceTime.
Yeah.
FaceTime is a massive reason why people don't switch from iPhone.
Yeah.
Or why they switch to iPhone is FaceTime. It's huge. Bigger than iMessage, I would argue. Not as far as use goes, but as far as like reason to not switch or whatever. So if they make that more of a FaceTime adjacent thing, and it's available, and you can switch between your Android laptop and your phone and things like that, they could really have some strong on their hands. I would love to see some pressure on the market. I'd love to see pressure on Apple. I think Apple's doing great things innovation-wise, but they're huge. They could always use more pressure. And sometimes it's very obvious that they're not feeling the pressure from the market, and so they can just kind of slow down. Right now, things are really good in Apple land. They're producing better and better stuff. Their MacBooks are great and stuff. Ignore Vision Pro and all that, but like their standard products have only improved. But that makes me worried that they're probably gonna plateau a little bit and start to.
But that's how it goes.
Slack off, yeah. But if other companies keep on innovating, that doesn't happen. They keep on trying. They stay locked in and they keep making stuff. So
really,
that's all we've got to talk about today.
That was a good podcast, dude.
We covered a lot of topics. We talked about the Artemis II mission. We talked about the folding iPhone, big changes in the car industry, the RAM price issues, and Google's secret plan to kill Windows with the Aluminium OS. Well, that's all. Well, let us know your comments and what you'd like to hear us talk about on the next episode. We've been your hosts. I'm Nathan.
I'm Trey.
And thanks for tuning in to Launch Day, and we'll see you next time.